So look, if you want to grow your wealth, your income, and increase the amount of time off, then these are the shortcuts that can help. Welcome to the Wealth Creation Podcast. Hey everybody, Dan Latto speaking. So let's talk to you about social media for a few minutes. What I wanted to talk about in this video was how it's having a negative effect on our culture, but more than that, how it's having a negative effect on relationships, the way in which we do things. Now, don't get me wrong, I run a digital marketing agency. We love social media. Social media causes so many opportunities to happen. It's off the scale. But you got to be using it in a right way. And the way that I find most people using social media is that they are consuming information, which basically means they've got their device and they're reading off their device constantly. And we become addicted to that because we've got a dopamine hit every time we get a little bit of content. Every time we get a like or someone comments, we get a little ego boost. It fires off our dopamine systems and we become overrun by dopamine effectively, and that's really not healthy for us because then we go out and try and find more and more and more dopamine to keep the dopamine hit as high as we can, and then we get depressed, etc., etc. Now, I'm not saying that you should come off social media. I'm saying that you should move your dopamine hit onto something else. Most people are getting a dopamine hit from consuming content, which means content coming off their device into their head. And I think you should be doing it the opposite way around. You should be speaking to camera just like we are now. I see my smiley little face just in the camera there. You're looking right at me. You're now consuming this piece of content. Swap it around. Get your mobile phone. You record out, okay? And change your dopamine hits from people liking it, subscribing, and watching videos into ka-ching when the money hits the account. I get an email every time one of our online orders comes in. We keep trying to make it go ka-ching every time that happens, but I'm not convinced even that is going to be a good dopamine hit either. We get them, you know, like today we've had 7 closes, 7 sales come in today. It'd have gone ping, 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 you know, it's too much and it just distracts you and so on. What you want to be doing is you should be moving your key performance indicators to how many videos have you created today? How many podcasts have you created today? How many outbound phone calls have you made today? How many meetings have you had today? And so on and so on and so on. That's where you want to be getting your dopamine hit, not looking at bikini models on Instagram, fellas, and I don't know what women look at. No idea. For rock. I don't know what you do. So, but you want to change your dopamine. You want to change up what you're doing in terms of your behavior because it's literally destroying culture. We get on a bus. Not that I've not been on a bus for years, but you get to the airport and people are, you know, face down in their mobile phone. Everybody is on their phones, me too. And it's because they are consuming one-way information and they're not making any money. So think about this. While you're watching this video, you're not making money. If it's the other way around, like potentially while you're watching this video, I am making money. Because you might buy something at some point and it either goes, yeah, I want to buy from Dan, or no, I can't stand the guy. Whichever is great. Qualifies you in, qualifies you out. The problem is that it's just one-way consumerism. You're consuming the content into your head and you're not out there making money. Now, I'm not saying that you should be out there making money 24/7 over and above everything else. All things being equal, you still want to be healthy. You still want to get your familial relationships in place. You still want to get your love life in place. You want to get all that done. But also, you've got to be doing it from a stable platform. And the problem is, for most people, is they're not on a stable platform. They're looking at speedboats or Ferraris and they're on minimum wage. And it's like, dude, stop looking at that stuff. Get yourself off minimum wage. Create content. Create an online training course. We've got our rapid online course creation training. It's £27. Absolute throwaway price. And we sell that like hotcakes. Okay? Buy that. Learn how to create content so that you can sell it. So then when you're actually looking at social media, on one hand, on the other hand, you've got emails coming in with orders coming in that then fuels your lifestyle. If then you want to go out and buy a Ferrari, then you can do that. Just a couple of days ago, I was looking at Lamborghinis, as you do. I'm 47 now, kind of a realization that, when I pay this car off, I'm going to be 51. We were looking at 20 grand down and £1,000 a month for 48 months. That would probably pay the thing off. And I'm like, first of all, I'm 47 and I can't think of anything worse than a 51-year-old eventually when it's paid off climbing out of that car. But as long as the money that comes for that car comes off some of the training courses or comes off some of the property, that's not an issue. But for most people, they're out working at a job to bring in enough money to look good in front of their friends by buying a fancy car. Don't get me wrong, I've done it too. I bought a fantastic Porsche 911, 42.5 grand, 18 years ago, just before I turned 30. Beautiful car. 0 to 60 in 5 seconds, convertible, woof, beautiful car. Absolute waste of money. That could have been, not just on depreciation, I sold it for 28 grand just 2 years later. So I lost a lot of money, plus all the tyres and all the repairs and all the oil changes, etc., etc. Very expensive. But I could have put that into an asset that's generating money that would have bought me a Lamborghini for the rest of my life, £1,000 every month for the rest of my life. I could have put that into one property that would have generated me £1,000 a month profit. It's just about thinking about how social media is having an impact on you and making these ideas of a beautiful body and Ferraris and Lambos and beautiful houses and yachts and so on into this unrealistic dream that you think you're going to get to when you're not putting in the work at the other end. And that's the key on this video that I want you to take home. Hope that's useful for you. My name's Daniel Latto and we'll speak to you on the next video. Take care. Hey, it's Dan here. Thank you for listening. Really appreciate each and every one of you. Please click like or subscribe to the entire podcast.